Greetings and welcome back everyone to Pillars of Eternity, where in the last episode we checked out the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Now, there was an awful lot of reading involved in that one, so we're going to try and focus on a little bit on exploring new areas and also chasing down some tasks and quests that we have at the moment. So let's start off by going into the Scrivener's dormitory. There's just a little niggling idea in my mind that perhaps the Scriveners might have had something to do with the theft. It might not just be it might not be people who didn't know what they were looking at. Just thieves come to steal some things. It could have actually had something more to it. Spilled tea? My lord. Emptying pot and one detailed sketch of a fire-breathing old dwarf for all that remain of a long study session. Clearly you are the culprit. I will find you and I will hand you in. We could nick these. Ooh, I don't know about that.
Slow and silent.
Ooh, quite like it. Right of Untamed Wild. Yes, Glinda, you can have that as well. Okay, moving on. Let's have a glance through here. Corin over there. Let's just see if we can pop into this room without Corin seeing us. There we go. Now, what do we have? We have got requires 6 law. Ooh, okay, well, Aloth, you can have that one then. There we go. Are you smoking? Ah, good. You're smoking with a pipe. I can clearly trust you. The way it works.
Hail, traveler.
Okay. By Wheel's eyeless face, you are one short ogre. But why are you green? And how are you getting the ducks to keep flying around you like that? What? I can tell there's not just tobacco in that pipe. What are you talking about? Your ducks. Your green skin. Should I speak louder? Slower? Let me know. He beams at you and nods his head. You're a scrivener. He nods. Yes, I am a scrivener. I read books. I write books. I once ate a book, but only because it looked like a sweet pie. Or perhaps it was a sweet pie baked to look like a book. Interesting. Oh, I'm also a collector of herbs, flowers, plants. I sell them. Mostly I eat them. Sometimes you may smoke them. Show me what you have for sale. Tell me about the dormitory. It's where the Scriveners who work at the Hall of Revealed Mystery sleep. I am a Scrivener, he sniffs. This place smells like old stockings. Really? Okay. Show me what you have for sale. Carol Golan, Snowcap, Ripple Sponge. Ooh, do I need some Ripple Sponge? I actually think we do for some enchanting. So I'm gonna take that. Thank you very much for the Ripple Sponge. Damn it! I should have just popped that into my inventory there straight away. Okay, onwards into this room, and once again stealth mode. Anything in here? The sturdy bunks are topped with thin blankets and ever thinner mattresses.
I can do that.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. What do we got? The snowcap mushrooms are known to be dangerous, for improperly treated samples are akin to poison. Once properly prepared, however, they can propel individuals into a trance-like state in which, it is claimed, many have received visions and portents of significance. The mushrooms feature primarily in important Glanfathan rituals, for their elders hold the secrets behind their safer use. You know what? Given that these students are trying to discover the mysteries and commune with their god, we're going to leave them there, because it seems like something they might need. And yes, we're lightening the load of some pockets, but we may be occasionally given to acts of scallywaggery, but we're not scoundrels. You must be here for Corin. I don't know how Corin's hidden his little racket from... excuse me. Oh, Corin. Let's have a look. The sturdy bunks are topped with thin blankets and even thinner mattresses. Okay, very well. Do they not believe in having a good night's sleep? Hello. I would like to have a look in this room. I would like to do it quickly, though. Hello. Someone's been sneaking naughty picture books from Old Valia into the dorm. I won't say who. Was it you? A rancid stench rises from the basin. The dishes at the top of the pile are flecked with morsels of... What is it? Morsels of meat and cheese, those at the bottom, are coated in a slimy fuzz. Yep. Students, it appears, were exactly the same in ye olde fantasy-y times as they are now. Onwards! Chanters can do more than just chant with their abilities not focused on frontline combat. They are competent
Whatever
warriors.
happens, at least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale.
Well, that is
I
true,
grew
yes.
up in Gilded Vale.
Oh, well,
Wait,
sorry.
That's what I meant to call it. No, you had it right.
I like Eder. Ah, I like you more and more every time you open your mouth. It's fantastic. The little chat that Eder has with the rest of the group are honestly amazing. Hello. Crucible Knights, we've already talked about those. No one seems to want these, so we'll grab them for ourselves. We've got a house there. We've also got... Oh no, that house is all the way down there. Very well. Well, we've been all around here, so let's continue on our way. We will swing by that place eventually, but we want to check out a couple of the other places first. Like up here, for example. Hello! Mercenaries. What's wrong with looting? No one's touched those artifacts in centuries. The knights patrol to keep us out of the ruins. But who keeps them out? Well, I guess they just don't want to go there. Hello, Mercenary. Most of the ruins worth exploring are out past Deerfoot. Very well, I'll keep that in mind. The shields have been battered and scarred in long-ago battles. Well-worn tools. It's a pleasant sight. Nothing quite as sad as tools that have never been used. That goes true for weapons as well, even though, you know, it's kind of grim in a way. Ademeth's Den. Okay, well, let's head into Ademeth's Den and find out what there is to find out. Building the Warden's Lodging in Stronghold grants access to various things.
Mercenaries. All fancy weapons and no skill.
That's an interesting way of putting it, Sagani. I'm not entirely sure whether I disagree as well. Alright, let's have a chat with you. You look like you've seen a thing or two in the wilds. Yeah, a thing or two. Or 3, or maybe 40. Most of them trolls and wolves and lions and bears, oh my. Okay, Book of the Hunt. Excerpts from the Sermon of the Struggle. And the... Ooh, the dozens. Let's have a look. Scarcely a decade ago, on the Evan Dewar Bridge, 7 men and 5 women fought valiantly to protect their homeland. They volunteered for the mission, knowing it was up to them, and them alone, to prevent St. Waidwin from crossing the bridge. They succeeded, even though they lost all but 4 of their number in the battle, and Waidwin was on the bridge when the God Hammer detonated. The final 4 were lost in the blast as well, their sacrifice, a testament to their dedication. The Dozens, a group ostensibly formed for the protection of the Deerwood, was founded in the honour of those men and women. Indeed, those 12 men and women are posthumously regarded as by the Dozens as their true founders. Initially, the group dedicated itself to protecting Deerwood from invasion, patrolling the borders tirelessly in search of Red Saren forces, regrouping for another attack. When the attack never materialized, many of the Dozens thought the next threat might come from Eothesian loyalists living in the Deerwood, and began to turn their attentions within. All new members of the Dozens are required to swear an oath to remember the sacrifice of their founders and remain vigilant against Red Ceres and followers of Eothas. To this end, worshippers of Eothas are routinely harassed by the Dozens. Oh, you scallywags, I won't let you harass either. The mindset of the group may be hard for some to understand, as any fanatical devotion can sometimes overshadow the ideals, but their original Dozen knowingly sacrificed their lives for Deerwood. From the Dozen's perspective, how can new members of the Dozen be any less committed to their country's welfare? What better way could there be to honour their founders? The Dozens are not a large group, but what they lack in size they make up for in fervent devotion to their cause, and a gift for gaining an ear of the commoners. This makes them a force to be reckoned with, and there is no more influential group in shaping the discourse surrounding Waidwin's legacy. A small but very vocal minority of extremists in this group are calling for a new war with Red Keras. I keep pronouncing it different ways. Red Keras or Red Ceres? I think it's Red Keras. Talk of purging the Deerwood of all followers of Eothas is also being touted. More recently, they have begun to see the practice of animancy as possible cause of the legacy, and they have taken to the streets of Defiance Bay and the dirt roads for many distant settlements to make their case to the general public. Some point to this as one source of the recent surge in vigilantism and violence in the country. Well, we're not going to let that stand. Enemies of Eder are enemies of Glyndŵr's, and by association, my entire party, which also includes Eder. Double enemies of Eder. Bandon Lear, a well-groomed man, steps through the hall with confident swagger, a smug grin etched on his face. He is flanked by 5 other hard-looking individuals. One of his companions eyes you for a moment before spitting chew at your feet. Another pup come wandering in, I see. Just know that Bane's giant slayers run things around here, and you'll be fine. No, you've already started by being confrontational. Glyndŵr's gonna meet you in kind. Never heard of him. His eyes narrow. You have now. Stick around Defiance Bay, and you will again. Plenty of bounties go around, but there's a reason the giant slayers get the lion's share. Remember that. A voice bellows across the hall. Enough jabber, Bane. You gonna do the job or talk about it? His jaw tightens. Manon's right. That coin ain't gonna collect itself. He looks at his comrades and jerks his chin toward the door. See you around, pup. I can see us coming to blows with that group. Not that Glyndŵr would choose that option without considerable thought, but I can see it happening all the same. Right, so this is Wenon. Well, it wouldn't be very polite for us to poke around this house when we haven't met its master, so let's have a chat, Wenon.
Don't stand on ceremony. State your business.
Very well. Possibly one of the dozens, and if so, I don't really want to start a conversation with that. I'm looking for work.
Go see Osric. He's usually got something. You do well for him, maybe I can find you more.
Okay. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to leave Tell Me About the Dozens for a little longer, because I've got Eder as my main person going up and talking to him, and I feel that that is not going to necessarily be the best way to start that conversation. Right, what's this then? Daggers mark the locations of various Engwithian ruins. Notes posted around the map list bet on current expeditions. Oh, okay. We've got something that there's no way that I'm going to be getting into. It's Mercenary, Osric. Someone shooting at a target. The outer bands of this target are pocked with countless holes, so they're not actually very good at hitting them then. Okay, fair enough. The Duke doesn't care about our illegal expeditions. The Knights do. Alright. Have you even held a blade? Put some weight into that swing. Oh, I can see what's going wrong right now. They're standing too far back. How can they possibly hope to actually put weight into the... Well, they could put weight into the swing, but they'd probably, yank their shoulder out as they spun around once they missed the target. Ah, seriously, you should tell them to stand closer, not worry about how hard they're doing it.
Blade up. If
Oh,
that
you
dummy was
guess.
armed, it'd have your head off.
Well, I don't know. At that distance, the dummy would probably miss as well. I'm looking for work. Tell me about the expedition hall. It's treasure hunting, plain and simple. Sponsors put up money, hire adventurers to go explore the wilds, looking for ruins mostly. If they come back alive, they split the spoils. If not, it's because they handled their weapons like this lot in front of me, who might as well be digging their own graves right now. Got business with me? Sure. Looking for work.
On an expedition, talk to Wenon. I just handle these mercenary shit shovelers. Adventurers, I mean.
When it clears his throat in the background and Osric's mouth puckers. I see. Although, he signs you up. I do have something I need done, something that requires... He glances sidelong at the adventurers, flailing away helplessly at the dummies. Competence. What do you need done? Okay.
I was formerly one of the Knights of the Crucible. When I left, they kept my arms.
Drill sergeant,
armor.
perhaps?
The arms they can have, but the armor belonged to my family. I'd like it back.
Well, you just ask for it back. It doesn't sound like leaving the Crucible Knights was your choice. What's this armor? Well, let's ask about the armor first, because, I mean, obviously we need to know if we're going to go and pick it up.
It's a breastplate. Not much to look at, and it's seen far too much use, but It's been in my family since the liberation.
Fair enough, we can understand that, or certainly at least Glindur can. Doesn't sound like you leaving the Crucible Knights was your choice.
You don't choose to leave knighthood. The Crucible Knights, they may not be a real knighthood, but the oaths you swear are just as true.
That is a fair point made, and it was a very callous question. Glindur apologizes.
Turns out that even unofficial knighthoods have politics. You cross the wrong man, suddenly all kinds of accusations are thrown your way, and nobody believes you.
Okay. Nothing more destructive than a crowd with the wrong idea. Ida speaks from experience on that one. Oh, why are they keeping your family breastplate?
No. Oh, they'd like that, I'm sure. But I won't be going. Sooner be torn apart by dogs than give them the satisfaction.
Fair enough. I'll see what I can do then.
Then it's Penhelm you're looking for. A low snake of a man. If he was to die choking on his own black tongue, it'd be too kind of fate. He kept it when he had me kicked out.
Right, well, we'll find this Penhelm and
I got word
see
from
what we
a
can
reliable
do.
source that Penhelm visited a forger in Andra's gift, right after being soul-scanned by a cipher in Dunreed Row. Should you have it in your heart to find a way to ruin his life while you're there, well, drinks on me.
Fair enough. Seems that Osric is not the sort of person you should really cross. He bears a keen grudge. But Andra's gift, right after having his soul lineage read by a cipher in Dunreed Row. Perhaps we should go talk to the person in Dunreed Row and then go to Andra's gift. Perhaps. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Maybe we can find some information about this Penhelm that would maybe mean that we could get the armor without having to really come to blows with someone, and perhaps, we could make sure that this information got out. Who knows? We'll have to see. Having a soul lineage read.
It's a requirement to join the Knights. They have to ensure a novitiate doesn't have a subversive lineage. If Penhelm's superiors found out his affidavit was a fake, his career would be over.
Ah, fair enough.
Every novitiate gets an affidavit from Dunreed Row, and those are stored at Crucible Keep. If you find Penhelm's, one of those ciphers could tell you if it's real.
Righto. Scully scratches the back of her neck. If generations of Musak traditions are any indication, this Penhelm probably doesn't remember it. Still, a past like that has to count for something. Okay, well, I don't need to hire an adventurer. Farewell. We have got a new quest. A rogue knight. Very well. I kind of like the sound of that fellow. I don't know why. He sounds trustworthy. Even if a bit gruff. Let's go into stealth mode. Even though we're going to be visible. Past the Deerwood. Very well. Let's check out this room. Sonlit. Aha! Haven't seen you before. You headed out with an expedition company. She raises an eyebrow. Or are you betting on one? How long have you worked? Tell me about the expeditions, actually. They're groups of adventurers that venture into the wilderness. More than a few of them try their luck scouring the ruins. Most of them come back empty-handed, if they come back at all. Betting on them is almost as risky as actually going, but that's how expeditions get funded. And every once in a while, one of the adventuring companies will strike it big and make a fortune for their backers. How long have you worked at Edmeth's den? She leans on the countertop and drums her fingers. Oh, a few years. I got in the minute the last merchant cleared out. She nods towards the main area of the hall. They've got new expeditions venturing out every week, so this is a great place to do business. And the dozens make loyal friends and loyal customers, so long as you stick by them. She taps the counter. The vendor who was here before me, they ran him out when he sold his best helms to a pair of Crucible Knights. I've been careful not to make that same mistake. Okay. I'm afraid not. See, the dozens only do business with me so long as I only do business with them, and they're good customers. She jerks her thumb at the door. But if you get on Osric's good side, he could make an exception for you. He's probably training some of the new recruits right now. Very well. Okay, well, Osric, we've already got a quest for, and that might lead us to getting some pretty good gear. I like this. Hello? Anyone in here? No?
Keeping an eye.
Fantastic. Stealth time. 5 mechanics.
I'll handle this.
There we go. Fantastic. We've got a war bow. Nothing particularly that useful. I don't mind relieving you of a few odds and sods. I mean, you've got all of that stuff down there. Shouldn't be a problem for you.
I'll have this open in no time.
Excellent. Ooh, geological map. This map marks areas of geological activity in the Deerwood and Ir Glanfath. Of note is a description of a cavern where molten rock flows within a deep chasm. Chasm? Oh my lord. Chasm. That is such a... That's like a criminal offence, pronouncing chasm like chasm. Okay, moving on. Right, well, we've seen everything in here, I feel, so we don't need to walk slowly anymore. Alright, well, pretty happy with that. It looks like we have the Rogue Knight to check out. We've got a couple more places in this area before we need to go into any deeper into Defiance Bay. So I think it is time that we start checking out a couple of those houses. But before we do, let me just double check on this. How are we going? 9 hours. That is not too bad. That's like one travel around an area would get me that. Alright, let's check on the house that was around here. Oh no, it's all the way over here instead. Somewhere around there. Go forth! I like being able to tell them to path on their own. Much easier than me doing it. Okay, we have someone's house. And we're going to poke our head in and say hello. Hello?
I'm on the trail.
What have we got? This painting depicts the famous scene from The Light of Dawn in which the traveller and the ghost happen upon a starving man. Right? What's over here? Oh, well, this isn't thievery, so we can just flat out take that one. Okay, fair enough. What about in here? Hello? There's some sort of inn? It might be. We've got potion of minor regeneration, some money. You can have that. And what's this? We're not really too interested in that, but I'll put it into my stock of books, and maybe we'll be able to populate our library back at the keep with it. Okay. Can I unlock this door? Unlocking this will require the proper key. Oh, okay. Well, we'll come back then, I suppose. I'm not even sure if the key will have a name on it or anything like that. Perhaps I'll just have to come back once I've got a couple of extra keys and try each one on the lock until I get the right one. Right, next place for us to check that. Well, there are a couple of places over there that I should have actually checked before I ran all the way down here. That was silly of me. But the next place then is probably going to be here. And then just pop our head down in this area. I'm not sure we're going to go into the catacombs. Well, we might. It doesn't look like it's a whole new area at the very least. Andra's Gift. Copper Lane. We'll probably head down to Andra's Gift before anywhere else in regards to the forgery, since I can't easily see where the other areas are. Unless, actually, let me just double check. Is this? No, this is Copper Lane. There were two areas. One of them started with a D. Let me just have a quick look at that. Dunrid Row. Where is Dunrid Row? I actually don't remember. I'm fairly certain that I have seen that name, though. So I may have to look back over the previous episodes in order to find out. But let's swing down and around here and just see what this large building is, since we're close by. Crumbled loaves of shredded flyers float in the water. Very well. Just a car. Stay out of the catacombs. They're more dangerous than usual lately. Well, if there's just danger in there, I might actually poke my head in. It was so lovely back then. What? Hope you're not talking to me. I'm still lovely. This elderly man paces back and forth, taking short, hobbled steps. His gaze is distant, and beneath it are the dark rings of many restless nights. He appears to be having a conversation with someone who isn't there. And the way you fought, cutting down 2 at a time. We shared quite a victory, you and I. Who are you talking to? Watch where you're going, you babbling old fool. No, who are you talking to? The man looks up at you, startled. Oh, by the flame. For just a moment I thought I heard her. He puts a hand on his chest, catching his breath. What troubles you? Just the memories of my youth in the North Watch Ranges, trials and adventures from a lifetime ago. He shakes his head. Of late, the memory of lost battles and fallen friends has been especially vivid. Being a watcher, this concerns Glendur. Or at least enough to have his curiosity piqued. Tell me about these memories. It's been nearly 6 years. We were known throughout the Deerwood then. We thought we'd adventure together forever, collecting coppers and inspiring songs. The wrinkles around his eyes deepen. That was until we faced Helig of Thane. He was a wizard whose experiments in necromancy left a trail of bodies, some reanimated, from Solace Vale to Midwood. We tracked him as he fled towards the Valian republics, catching him just west of the Lake of Drowned Tombs. We were fools. Seasoned as we were not prepared for his foul magic. Our numbers were nothing against his power. A wiser man would have ordered a retreat. Not me. By some curse of the gods, I was knocked out, and when I woke, my rangers, my Rowena, they were all dead. He holds empty air in his arms. Well, let's get a little bit more details on Rowena. My friend, my comrade in arms, and my love. We planned to adventure together until we grew old enough to settle down and enjoy our fortunes. Young as we were, we couldn't imagine anything that would tear us apart. I know this sounds like an old man's madness, but I hear her. Her voice just over my shoulder, calling to me in my dreams. At night, I see her wandering the catacombs beneath the city, trying to escape. Foolish as it sounds, I can't shake the idea that somehow she's down there, waiting for me. I've even ventured below, though it damn near cost me my life. Were I half the warrior I was in my youth, I'd search every grave and rat hole. As it is, I'm stuck with this feeble body and the agonizing notion that my love is somehow down there beyond my help. Well, this is a matter of love. Even if Glendur didn't kind of want to go down there anyway, and even if he actively didn't want to go down there, he would go there. You can't turn your back on this sort of thing. I'll search the catacombs for any sign of Rowena. Tears spring to the old man's eyes. There's an entrance just southeast of here, on the other side of the canal. He sniffs and wipes his eyes. You are truly a gift from the gods. If there's anything you can find of her. There we are. A voice from the past. Today I met Dalton, a retired adventurer in Copper Lane. He's been hearing the voice of Rowena, his lover and comrade who died at his side almost 60 years ago. In his dream, she wanders the catacombs beneath the city. He's asked me to venture down there to search for her. Very well. Well, that is where we're going to be wrapping up this episode, I think. I believe we're right next to the catacombs, just down there. So, in the next episode, as much as I was thinking we might want to head back to our keep, it looks like we might actually, in fact, be venturing into the catacombs. No, we're not going to be talking with Skinflint. What an awesome name, though. But that will be for the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one and will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.